Hello and welcome to Chapter 267 of the DC Alliance podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how you doing today? I forgot about that part.
I'm doing fairly good. My boss is a complete idiot. But other than that, it's been a long week. It's been a very long week.
I feel you there. It's been the weirdest weather week here. Like Sunday, it was freezing rain. Monday was nice. Tuesday was a blanket of fog.
Ugh,
Wednesday and Thursday was plus like 10 and 12. You could walk around in shorts. It's just
ours was
like today's snowstorm.
okay.
Yeah.
That you know what? Sure. That global warming's not real though. It's fine.
I was just
Anyway,
like, oh, come on. Like, what's going on here? Oh, boy.
how are you though? I mean, other than the weather being weird, how are you?
Not bad. We're going to make the trek to the in-laws tomorrow. Oliver's
Okay.
going to visit. I made a joke with Allison. I was like, "Yeah, myself and Joe were going to record on Tuesday," but I messaged Joe on Tuesday, being like, "I just got this weird feeling that I'm going to be able to record on Friday. I'll let you know for sure." I
Yeah,
was
I'm just
like,
like,
and
okay, well, let me know.
then you came in. I was like, you came in that evening or the next morning. And I was like, right after you were done, I rolled over and texted Joe and said, "Yeah, I'm right. I'll be there on Friday." So,
Perfect. All
so yeah,
works.
she laughed at that. I was like, I don't know. I just feel like we were going to go out on Saturday. So that it just worked out that way, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to go. He enjoys it there, and there's a lot more room. They're going to celebrate his birthday. He's getting a third birthday party. Like
Oh.
what a schooling he's getting on his second birthday.
Oh no, he's being so spoiled.
Yeah. Three parties.
Oh darn, I get 3 cakes to myself.
I'm like, yeah, I'll finish off the second cake all by myself.
Love it.
Oh yeah. But we got some Superman content, Joe.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, let me get the network plugs out of the way. So we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 6 shows in total. On Mondays, bi-weekly is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. And on Saturdays, DC Alliance. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All three of those shows also have their own podcast feed. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, and Star Wars Alliance. If you just want DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only, but if you want all 6 shows on the GWA Podcast Network, stay subscribed to the GWA on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 tier is basically a tip jar like we're doing. You want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras, get your ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes / shows. Myself and Joe are going through all the DC films through the years, over 30 pieces of content up there for the patrons right now. We have 2 shows on the backlog for the patrons from Marvel Alliance, Tale from the House of X, talking about their favorite Fox Marvel shows, or films, sorry, and then their Infinity Saga rewatch, going over the entirety of the Infinity Saga. And we also have Joe's Multiverse Minutes going on right now, where he's doing his Disney deep dives. On the 1st and the 15th of every month, Joe will drop a Disney film review, not just going over the review of the film, but giving you fun behind the scenes facts, tidbits, all that sort of thing. Joe, what came out on the 1st and what comes out on the 15th?
Yeah, so I just dropped
Peter
my
Pan?
episode covering Robin Hood.
Robin
Peter
Hood, that's
Pan
what
was
it
a
was.
while
Yeah,
ago.
Robin Hood, that's what it was.
Yeah, so Robin Hood just came out, arguably one of the best
Yeah,
animated Disney movies they ever put out.
yeah.
I know there's some problems with it, like continuity wise, but still such a
So
such a
fun,
fun
so
movie.
fun, so fun.
So great. And then coming out next is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Now, there's some
Hmm.
interesting things with that movie that I didn't realize until just recently. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, I mean, you could go look it up on IMDb
You did the
or just
Poohverse
listen.
movies for the walk through the multiverse, didn't
Nope.
you?
No, I
No?
did not.
Okay.
No, I talked about wanting to see them, and then I never did. Now,
Maybe that
ironically,
might be something me and you could do for. Maybe I could join you on a Halloween.
well, so that one might get pushed for a while, only because over on my other show, my comic rundown, myself and my good friend Chuck have been doing a new show called Getting Franchised over there, and that is on the docket for us to watch the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and the Peter Pan, no, the Popeye Slayer Man.
there's like
Um,
they're coming up with a whole
oh
universe
yeah, no,
with
there's a
that.
whole
Yeah,
universe,
yeah.
and I'm here for it. I actually, ironically, I just went and saw Screamboat, the one of the Mickey Steamboat Willie movies that because Steamboat Willie is now in public domain. Man, that movie was a lot of fun.
I would love to see like if like the army found out about him when they all assemble, like all the like crazy villain characters, be like, what do
I'm
you
gonna
think?
be
What is going on here?
Yeah, no, I am looking forward to actually watching the Pooh Blood and Honey. So that's gonna be I'll be watching that soon for my other show. So it might be
Yeah.
a while before I touch on that here.
So we thank everyone that's a patron. If you're not a patron, if you take a quick 30, 60 seconds, rate and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice, is always greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. Okay, Icky says, "What's up, guys?" Aaron Fleischer, I don't know who that is, says that James Gunn sneak peek divided the DC fans. No, I don't think so, Iggy. I've seen a lot of positive stuff coming from this. Not a lot of negative. I don't know if I have the negative muted and blocked into eternity.
That's a
But
possibility. Honestly, I haven't seen anything only because I haven't really been on social media for comic book stuff. I've been on a lot for the Nintendo stuff, but yeah, I
thank
don't know. I
you,
haven't seen anything.
tariffs.
Let's not get into
Actually,
that.
I don't know. I don't think it'll
We did
affect
get a
me.
chance to
I don't
talk
think it'll affect
beforehand.
us here.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah,
Because
we don't
it's where
have.
it's coming
We're
from.
cool. We're
You're
cool.
fine.
We're cool. We're cool.
You
with
are
those
fine.
guys. We're cool with those guys.
I am not. Anyway, sorry. Go you. Whatever.
So yeah, and Iggy, I don't think the fandom can get any more divided than it was a few years ago. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone can divide the fandom up any more than that. I do. We'll get into it, but I was pleasantly surprised about what I saw, and that's what we're here to talk about. Of course, the Superman sneak peek, which again, this is awesome. I'll set up to share this here, and we'll go over it. Joe will be my guiding light to see if I have this all set up.
And we're on. Make sure to turn the volume off.
Yeah, I muted it. Start this time. So yeah, this is the same kind of opening we got in the trailer before. This is just extended a little bit. I've only seen this once.
I literally just finished it.
Yeah, I've only seen this once. So
I will say, so I know I questioned this scene last time. I still have some. It still doesn't look real, but as I'm watching it now, like I think it's just because he's actually like hurt and shivering.
And I legitimately think he's on location there, Joe.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I don't think there's no digital thing but the snow. And
yeah.
There are people that are saying like you're showing Superman weak. I did see a couple of those comments. And I'm like, you don't know any of the context. This could have been the battle after the kaiju. This could have been anything. And he doesn't look like he's just hurt physically. He kind of looks like he's hurt mentally as well. Like he's kind of something might have happened. Like might have lost someone or something.
Oh, yeah. Considering he may have lost his dad, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
this could have been anything.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and
that's never happened in any of the properties, right? Ever.
No.
Not taking food off of his table. Crypto. Love crypto.
At least they enjoy that death, Joe. I do enjoy this too, Crypto being a dick. I laughed at this more now because my dad was total dick to me today because I didn't give him the scraps off the table. He literally came over and like nosed me in the face. So
see, Crypto's not being a dick. He wants to play. That's
Well, at this point in time,
he's got energy. But yes, you are correct.
But this is, and some people worry he's going to be used for just slapstick. So I hope the hit does have a little bit of a story to it here with him, at least telling his backstory too.
I don't know. I'm also not. I wouldn't consider all that slap. Like I guess it was a little bit slapstick. But he's also smart enough to understand after he stopped playing. Hey, I need to take care of this though.
This is like,
oh man, it coming out of the ground. Yeah,
I got to pause it here for a second just to get back a little bit here. There we go. Like this is one of the criticisms I had of Man of Steel was the way they did his base in that. I wasn't a fan of that compared to like the
actual fortress.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I know part of it people got to realize here you're just coming off the backs of 3 Dark Knight films where all they did was make it real, like as real as they could. So that's kind of, why they did it that way. But again, if you're doing spaceships and aliens and that, I don't think a giant crystallized structure coming out of the snow. And I love it this way too, where it's hidden and then it comes out whenever Superman comes around,
Well, because
which I appreciate.
in the comics, it was quote unquote hidden.
Yeah.
And in like in the first original Superman the movie, in actually just the whole Christopher Reeve one, you could say it was hidden, like maybe by like, I don't know, air pressure or something. It really wasn't all that hidden. If you ever go to search for it in the Arctic, you would find it.
It's just back then nobody was going up to the Arctic to search for
Correct.
anything. Yeah.
Like,
So it
but
didn't
in the
seem like
comics,
anything other than the normal place to put it for Superman that no one would go to. And then even like Luthor goes there at some point. So
couple
like
times.
you said,
But
it
like
makes it seem pretty easy.
But in the comics, like it was, I'm going to use the quotes hidden because people would search for it and they could never find it. So whatever magics you want to call that hid the base, like it did wonders. This is just showing it's hidden underground. When he comes near, or even when Crypto comes near, when some super being comes near, all right, we're gonna rise up. We're gonna do our thing.
Maybe the on his collar might be a
little like like a little automatic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We see he's robots, and this is what I was talking about with the alternate Superman. Yeah, you'll get it in a second here when they're healing him. I just got alternate Superman vibes. One of these is Alan Tudyk.
Oh yeah, you get this recognize. I recognize the voice immediately.
When someone called on out for that on Twitter, and he said, "Yeah," or on Threads or something, he said, "Yeah, you caught me."
Oh no, the voice actor is using voice acting.
Yeah, it's like you're using it.
Oh darn!
And all kinds of damage to him here.
Inside. So, I mean, it could be against the kaiju. It could be against Ultraman. I might throw my vote in for Ultraman.
Maybe,
especially if he's not going to be the big bad of the movie, as we may find out.
Yeah.
Now, this used like enhancing the solar energy, the healing.
People even complaining. Some people complain about like him getting hurt while the sun. Look, they're resetting his bones and stuff. I
still think she's dead, but that's just my own thing.
Neck broke, a la Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then we go into just basically the extended version of the trailer. Where says he's back.
Yeah, which is kind of all. I like that they're showing us the same scenes, only more.
And putting in some of the dialogue just between characters. Yeah. And you get this is what
Solaris
in the background. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Saw that. I'm like, oh, the Sun Eater? What?
Because I think you can even see. Hold on, I'll go back. I think you can even see Green Lantern's ring going against him there. I think you can see the green. Let me see.
Yeah, when it gets there, hold on, it's coming up.
Yeah, there. See.
Oh yeah, 100%.
His Green Lantern ring at it at the same time.
A lot of Lois and Clark and kissing there.
Yeah.
I wonder if she finds out about his secret.
I think she already knows.
Yeah, she has to. Yeah. I mean,
I think they came out and talked about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the interviews there. And like we've seen these Metamorpho. Again, this just looks fantastic, and it looks a little bit more fantastical than what we've seen before, like more comic booky, if that's the right word to put there.
Yeah, Iggy, I do not know. That looks awesome.
Yeah,
I apologize for you having to see that people are divided on this.
Yeah,
but it's also one of those things where
I've seen a couple critiques of, like I said, those 2 points, and it's not a whole it's not like I see my Twitter timeline like 1 or 2 people being like, "Man, like why is his bone? Why does he look like he's in pain when he's healing?" And I'm just like, this is just a take on it, where his bones are resetting and stuff. And
exactly. Like, I'm sorry, when you get your shoulder dislodged or dislocated, it hurts when you reset it.
Also humanize the Superman a little bit more too, to show the pain going through and stuff. I just it's just a take. It's not that this stuff shouldn't bring you. This looks really fun, Joe.
Yeah,
it looks really fun, especially like the world that this is set into that we might get to explore more of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I thought it was cool. I'm excited for the film. I think there's 99 days until it comes out. So
Ooh, under
yeah,
100.
under 100 days, and yeah, can't wait, Joe. That was pretty awesome. So let's take our first ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're an ad support network. We don't pick the ads or volume. Going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe, we got a little article to touch on a little bit. Not a whole lot of it, just going to peruse it. The big thing that I wanted to talk about was he said there was a couple things. Think I put it in the news too, about the pocket dimensions and stuff.
Oh,
He was
okay.
like, let me see here. Okay, yeah. So James, in the central conflict, Superman adapted from one particular comic book, or would you describe it as more of an original story? He said, I would say it's an original story, but the tone and the look of the film, in many ways, is inspired by Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly's All Star Superman,
Mm.
or Quitley, sorry, All Star Superman. But if I wrote my own story, then I could just rip off their look. No, no, I'm kidding. They're really great. So yeah,
All-Star Superman's a great book too.
yeah, yeah,
I think
really
I
good.
have it.
Maybe we'll probably read that before the Superman comes out. Maybe we'll talk about it for
I don't
a
think I have it.
segment. Uh, and then said, "Would you say the central conflict? What would you say the central conflict of this story is?" He said, "I think we weave in and out of various conflicts, but the central conflict is between." And then Nicholas Holt jumps in. It's a love triangle. He said, yeah, the central conflict revolves around Lex Luthor's attempts to defeat and destroy Superman. I think Lex Luthor thinks of Superman the way an artist thinks of AI. Here's this guy who's this incredible genius scientist who's worked for his whole life to become one of the richest, most powerful men in the world, and he does it all to be lauded. I mean, he wants to be the greatest, and suddenly this jerk comes in wearing a cape and a lantern, and with a lantern jaw and a cocky grin, and he takes all the action out of the room of Earth, and it just creates a burning hatred in the guy.
Yeah,
I
that sounds like a mix between All-Star Superman and Red Sun Superman.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. I'm excited to see how these characters, like these people, take on the roles of characters. I think I'm almost as excited to see Nicholas Holt's Superman, Lex Luthor, as I am to see Cornspet Superman. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, because they're leaning hard in the comic style of Lex Luthor. Uh, so let me see.
No, I'm excited for all of it. Like it, just what we saw in here, the extended original trailer, and then obviously the snippet we saw. Holt looks good. Like he
Yeah,
looks like he's gonna be a different Superman than we've had, or I'm
yeah.
sorry, different Lex than we've had.
And this is probably this is why I wanted to touch on this, just to get your thoughts on his answering to this question. It says, James, Superman is the first movie to be released as part of the larger DC universe you're establishing. How is this movie setting the tone for what's to come? And Gunn says, I think it's only setting the tone so far that this is 100% a James Gunn movie. And what I want with future films is for them to be the same, not James Gunn movies. But when I talked to Craig, who's doing Supergirl, I said, I don't want all of these movies to be the same. What I love about DC Comics is that you can read a story like The Dark Knight, which is totally very different because of its artist and writer, than Superman for All Seasons, then All Star
Mm,
Superman, then Batman: The Long Halloween. These are all beautiful stories within the same world, but completely different. And that's what I think is exciting. I think I learned from my time at Marvel when Guardians of the Galaxy came out. People were like, well, how is this raccoon going to interact with this God of Thunder who's been set up in a totally different type of movie? And that was the thing that people liked the most about Infinity Wars. So it's really about letting the artist create these unique visions that allow us to get to know these characters in different ways. I look forward to the time when these characters, one of them does show up pretty soon, two of them actually. So anyway, when they get to see them in a totally different light, in a totally different genre, in a film that isn't a big spectacle action adventure, maybe something more dramatic, maybe something more comedic, whatever, and see those characters in a slightly different portrayal by the same actors.
okay.
So like, I do enjoy that he says like if you have Batman over in Superman's world, he'll be a little bit different than what he'd be in Batman's world, which I did find that a little bit with the Arrow and Flash crossovers too. Like Arrow would be a bit more lighthearted in the like far less doom and gloom broodiness all the time. There was some of it there,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
still
No,
like a little bit more. You know what I mean? A little bit more.
yeah.
I know we stopped watching the crossovers, but that was evident like in the first couple, even like the first one they go out against Mirror Master, and the second one like Green Arrow's like torturing people and stuff in the Arrow side of it. I just feel like whenever they're on each other's shows, it kind of reflected it. So
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
I think that's what he's getting at here anyway.
and I mean, I can attest to that in the comic book form, not even just crossovers. In my one I go to is Batman Hush, right?
Yeah,
Where Batman goes to Metropolis, and he's not. He is. I'll say doom and gloom a little, but like when Superman's around, he's a little more friendlier. You know, he especially as both Bruce and Clark, like he has a little bit more upbeatness to him versus when he's in Gotham. He's like, this is Gotham. I can't, not gonna say I can't show weakness, but I can't let up even once.
yeah. Which again,
'Cause-
I do enjoy. I do enjoy that sort of thing here, and he talked about Pocket Universes, Sorcery, Flying Dogs, and Max Fleischer cartoons. The Pocket Universes, we saw this in Peacemaker, where he had his like setup in a little pocket universe. I feel like that might be where the Fortress of Solitude goes when it's in underground.
okay,
I feel like it might go to a pocket
remind me of
like all
Pocket
his
Universe.
gear is
That's
like
right.
remember he opened
Okay.
up the door and
Yep.
like
Yep.
he
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and
Yep.
even
It's
Vigilante was
literally a
like,
whole
yeah,
warehouse. Okay.
Vigilante's like, this is way too big for what's here. Like, how are you even doing this? I feel like that's kind of going to be the same thing for the Fortress of Solitude, which I'm all for that. And the best thing here, Joe, is that he kind of James Gunn responded on Threads and someone said, so excited for this movie, brings me to tears every time I see this trailer. And James Gunn said, thank you so much. Though I don't consider it a trailer, more like a sneak peek, I guess. I'm actually just finishing up the next trailer for you all now. And oh boy, am I excited for you to see it.
I mean, I love that, but this is essentially, yes, it is a sneak peek, but the last 30 seconds is a trailer.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean, it's a
but it's the
teaser.
same trailer.
It's a teaser, but
It's all the same shots we saw in the first trailer.
yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
Just extended,
Yeah.
just enough.
Just enough. And yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get more of this universe, and Superman's coming. So we got a thread here, Joe, of everything that went on at CinemaCon. So I'm going to jump into this now. The hallways were filled with Superman banners, and John Williams' Superman music was playing.
That's
Uh,
fun.
as attendance flowed into the theater, WB showed a behind-the-scenes photo from their famous movies, including Superman 1978. The full-size sizzle reel was played with new clips and logos from their upcoming films, and they included some shots from Superman.
Mm.
And then this is one I want to talk to you about a little bit. A few seconds of footage from the dynamic duo movie was shown. It depicted the Batmobile crashing through a pillar and Dick Grayson on a subway. The footage featured animation plus puppetry and live action. And there was another comment here from
I'm all for
Coy
that.
Janru, who said, got a brief glimpse of Dynamic Duo, literally seconds worth, and it looks staggeringly unique. We're talking Spider-Verse level of new, but with puppetry and CGI and live action blending. It was stunning.
I'm really curious on how this one's going to play out. Like, I'm
Yeah.
excited for it because it's Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. Like,
Yeah.
though I'm here for that. The animation, live action, puppetry, like you had me with these two.
I love them.
You had you had my interest with Dick and Jason. Now you have my attention with literally everything.
With how you're doing it. Yeah, I'm all in for that. Going on from that, it was Superman time. First behind the scenes video feature played on the big screen. It showed cast and crew having fun filming. A quote from Rachel Brosnan saying, "In James Gunn we trust, and I think we can do it." And then the featurette also included a new shot of Metamorpho, so we don't need to talk about what it showed because we watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took the stage for 30 minutes talking about the film. Peter Safran began by presenting the dubbing of the summer of Superman. James Gunn and the cast spoke about their experiences. One thing I will say was a big miss from them. They had somebody dressed up as Crypto the Dog, and it looked hella freaky sometimes. Like he's sitting there, like I'm like, you didn't need to do that. Like, anyway, I just thought it would look really odd at times. There was a couple times I'm like,
just a wee bit.
And yeah, I did talk about the extended clip. And then online, the publicity team dropped a few written interviews with James Gunn and the cast, including with Time Magazine and Entertainment Weekly, like the one we just went over. And then we got a new promotional banner for Superman was spotted on the show floor showing, I wanted to look at this a little bit, Joe. It shows basically all of Metropolis, and it looks like staggering. And I'm all for it. Like this looks like a blend. It actually, honestly, it reminds me of the Superman, the animated series, just the buildings and such. But
Okay.
it's not as futuristic. Like they basically have flying cars in that show. It would look like a paradise compared to Gotham.
Well, yeah.
Like,
Have you seen
man.
Gotham? Yeah.
So yeah, I think it looks fantastic, and I'll just want to see Superman flying around the city a little bit too. So get out of that here, and yeah, that was all the thread there. There was a few posters and pictures and shirts and stuff available at the time, but people are saying that they don't think they did a good job at the event. I honestly think with the clip that's going around now, I see nothing but positive buzz, and I don't think there's no problem releasing this online because you're not killing your market of the kids that are going to see this you're not wasting the partnership with Minecraft because kids are still going to see this. Not a lot of kids are going to see this clip before they see Minecraft. They're going to see it this weekend. So I don't think that's like releasing the clip doesn't do anything to be like, oh yeah, well we shouldn't be partnered with Minecraft. I don't think that at all.
And you're either already planning on seeing Minecraft, anyway, or like I was planning on taking my kids to go see Minecraft, regardless. So like when it got announced that this thing was going to be attached to it, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like you're not going to have somebody like me who's gonna go see Minecraft just because that trailer is attached or that sneak peek is attached to it, So it's Minecraft basically having it the exclusive, I'll say, on there for a day or two is fine. We all knew it was going to hit the YouTube or online shortly thereafter because everything it always does.
I think that was a smart play though that they started striking it down and they just put it out. I think that was just like they're trying to fight it for a day or two. I think they made the right decision there, and we are all to benefit for that, Joe. You a little less because you were going to see it anyway.
Correct.
So let's take our potentially final ad break of the evening. We got a little bit more news, and we got a awesome Smallville retro recap, probably the best one. Listeners, we're an ad support network. We're going to pick the ads that are volume. I'm going to do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Let's jump into this now. We got a sneak peek at the Superman theme. I don't think listening to this will get us striking down, as the DCU has had this up too.
Yeah. You never know.
Okay.
We are still here. Just, we're very quiet.
So yeah, did you get a chance to listen to the theme before?
Oh, I haven't heard squat. It's been like I said, it's been a hectic week for me.
Let me try. Hold on. I think it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's a recycling of the John Williams thing. I think it's its own unique theme, which that's all I wanted from this. So I thought it was good. Just played a little bit of it there, so we wouldn't get struck down or anything. Hopefully, it's okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. It got everything. It got like the slow beat and then the uplifting. So, and I do think there's like you can hear. Uh, I want to say homage to the Williams score in there. I
Yeah,
feel like,
you
yeah.
could hear a little bit of that.
Which again, I'm fine with that. I just didn't want a carbon copy. It just felt so weird seeing Henry Cavill slide out to the John Williams theme in Black Adam.
Yeah,
Like
because
I
he should have been walking out to his own
his
theme
own theme.
from Man of Steel.
And again, I want Cornswit to do Wicked, do like fabulous. That was
Yeah.
Newfoundland slang there, listeners, for a second there. I couldn't hold it back. Uh, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I want him to do well, and I would like his theme to be like what we associate him with Superman. I don't need a theme us associate him and Reeves with the same theme. That's why I'm excited about that. That's all. Uh, is that again? That's just another thing I think they're doing right here. And finally, we got our first look at Aaron Pierce. Aaron Pierce as John Stewart in Lantern. Sorry, not Green Lanterns. Doesn't look like he's doing too well for himself right here.
I mean, looks like
I,
he just got out of jail.
I'm assuming this might be a flashback.
That's possible.
Yeah, and I don't know. It looks like you may have just got a summer medically because I could be wrong though. You might be right with jail part.
Well, no, it's not jail because he's in a scrub outfit with a name
Scrubs,
tag.
yeah.
So, although he looks pretty, beat up.
Yeah, it could be like even like war or something. Horse Expo. I'm trying to see what's on the side here. Nope, doesn't. That looks like something.
Well, like war could make sense. Here's what I'm thinking, because this is where he becomes a Green Lantern in this show, correct?
I don't know. I think they're both lanterns already.
Okay, because if he's not, maybe it's a flashback of when he got the ring overseas, and then he got deposited back here after whatever. So he's just like, what the heck is going on, kind of thing.
Don't see any ring on the one hand, but the other hand is hit enough that it might be there. But again, you could be right. That's a good theory, though. I do like that, especially he does look at a swords a little bit there in the shot, and then the other shot is him with a gun getting out, and he doesn't look like he has a ring on. But that I could be. I can't see the other hand. The same hand that's hidden in the other shot is holding the gun, so I can't see.
And I don't remember which hand he uses.
If it's on his right hand, if it's on his left hand, he doesn't have it on because you can see his left hand in both of these shots. But the other hand is hid enough that, and then the other shot is hid by the gun, which is so funny that you can't see if he has the Green Lantern ring on or not. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Again, I'm excited. I can't wait for Lanterns. Like you and I talked about last week, it's from the HBO banner, so it's definitely going to be good. So, Joe, that wraps up. There wasn't a whole lot of news besides the CinemaCon stuff.
By the way, he does have it on his right hand. Not like John Stewart, the character, right hand. So he could very easily have that.
Could very easily have it on, which I do enjoy. Not a whole lot that we didn't know coming out of the CinemaCon, but I did like that we got to see the preview. It just makes me more excited. I hope that we see a bit more of Lex in the next trailer. Maybe his plan a little bit.
I honestly would like to see a little bit more of Lois.
Personally. Same. And I did read a couple things here where there a couple different interviews where they're not so sure at the moment. Like she knows who he is and that, but they're not sure about them long term. So
don't pull a Marvel and have Peter and Mary Jane, who are married, not be married anymore, and they're never going to get married again. Lois and Clark, that's the couple. That's what, if you watch the show, you saw how strong that bond was. You saw what made that show special was because those two worked so well together.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Make sure that they're together.
100%, Joe. I could not agree with you more. And I did want to talk a little bit about Solaris because I thought that was the villain.
Yeah, we kind of skimmed past that. My introduction to Solaris was DC 1 million.
Yeah.
Back in 95, 96 maybe. And then he was in All-Star Superman.
Yeah.
which was like both those are Grant Morrison projects, and in a way are connected. So, because Morrison loves to connect all of his works. If you've
Yep.
read any of his works, you understand. So yeah, seeing Solaris there, yeah, that's 100% Solaris.
Yeah, and
I would bet I bet my collection.
you bet the
Maybe I
farm on
won't
it.
do that. Yeah, no,
And just a little biography on him for any listeners that aren't familiar. Solaris is a star-like robot created to counter an organic computer virus that contains his programming and was sent by his future self. Afterwards, Solaris becomes an enemy of Superman and his descendants until the 505th century. Superman sacrifices himself to reprogram it. By the 853rd century, Solaris is placed in Uranus orbit to warm the outer parts of the solar system
mm-hmm.
and relay information and is overseen by Starman. Solaris' resentment of Superman leads him to ally with Starman and Vandal Savage to kill Superman. However, Solaris is destroyed by Superman and the past Justice League. In the new Golden Age, Legionnaire harness Solaris' power while battling Eclipso.
Yeah, if you want to read more on Solaris, go read All Star Superman. Go read DC 1,000,000.
Those are
That's a
two that are here that are
that's a
showing.
4-issue arc with a bunch of tie-in issues, which you don't have to read. I recommend them. They are kind of fun. Not all of them, but they are kind of fun. But yeah, like that's my knowledge off the top of my head. The two to read.
And you nailed it. That's what they have there. So again, that's pretty cool, Millen. I'll be excited to see what they do with him here, if that is him. But I'm in
I
agreement
think
with
it is.
Joe.
I
That's the
really
first thought
think
I
it is.
thought. Yeah. So Joe, we have our Smallville Ritual recap. Potentially the best episode. It is voted the top rated episode of the show on IMDb.
Like I was trying to think. We've had for this season alone. I feel like there was one that we both kind of thought like surprised us on how much fun we had watching it.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember. Like I looked through the list, I can't remember just reading the descriptions which one it was, but whatever. This one. Okay, so not to burst your bubble. This is a fun one. This is arguably easily one of the best episodes of the show. I do remember it when it aired.
Yes.
It's that good. Rewatching it now, I did see some problems, but I still had fun with it. Like it's still a great episode.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear some of these. Yeah, I love this. I remember this is when I first started to really get into enjoying Smallville back in the day. I remember being on the Kryptonite site and seeing the preview for this episode and being like, "Holy crap! Holy crap! They are actually doing it. They're bringing all these in together at the same time."
Yeah,
And yeah, it was awesome then, and I watched it again this week, and it was awesome again this week. And Stephen DeKnight, the guy who did Daredevil season 1 and Pacific Rim 2 and a couple other things, was the one that wrote this episode and directed this episode. So yeah, he nailed it. So just we'll go through a little bit of it. Green Arrow sent out reinforcements, aka Bart Allen, Arthur Curry, and Victor Stone to return to Smallville to help him take down LuthorCorp's secret lab called Project 33.1. What do you think about the opening of this with Bart and?
I mean, it was fun to see Bart back.
Yeah.
And just being his antagonistic self, especially with Clark. But yeah,
he
like
nailed that role in 2
he
episodes.
really did,
he's so good. Like he came back and he was like picked up and moved the character along a little bit and was perfectly fine. And I enjoyed him in this episode, especially the stuff with him and Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really gave Lex a chance to be like really super villainy, which he hasn't really got a chance to be in this show yet. Like not this super villainy. I guess this whole 33.1 is the most villainy thing he's done.
In a while.
Yeah. So, and like I said, Clark doesn't want to work with Bart. He's suspicious of what he's doing here. Bart's breaking into places using USB drives, stealing information from 33.1. Lex is getting wise to him, though, as well as his father. I do enjoy that back and forth about the Project 33.1 with his dad, because it's hard to gauge where Lionel is. Like, does he want Lex to do good? Does he want Clark to do good? He's covering for Clark, but he's also covering for Lex as well, because he moved all that stuff out in the last episode.
Yeah.
So
To save him.
yeah.
No, it is one of those things where obviously he's in deep already. He's gonna save his own butt, but at the same time, he's not gonna give up Clark, because he knows Clark's secret and how important he is to the world.
Yeah. And I did enjoy that here. And so Bart gets captured by Lex. He sets a plan as Bart goes to get a new facility, plugged in the USB, gets shocked, and this is when Lex captures him. And I love this, where he has him in the hamster wheel, in the little thing there, where if the moment he activates it, he has to keep running. If he stops, he'll be electrocuted and die.
Yep.
And before he gets turned on, he's like, "I want my lawyer," and Lex is like, "I want a ponytail." Discipline. And it was like one of my favorite lines. And the way he walked out, I'm like, yes, this is you being like full on like maniacal villain. And it was great. And obviously the team has to form together after that. Clark's not happy that Oliver got Barton into this, and essentially he finds out that Oliver saved both of Aquaman and Cyborg from getting in tight jams, and they all joined his team. And even though he learned this lesson in this entire conversation, this is one thing I did not like. Then Clark immediately goes and acts by himself to save Bart. I'm like, you just literally I just sat through you supposedly learned this lesson for 10 minutes that you can't do everything by yourself, and it's okay to team up. And then you immediately ignore it and listen.
He'll get there quicker to save Bart.
With your one outrageous weakness, you think you might want backup. And again, this makes me appreciate Superman in Superman the Animated Series / Justice League a lot more, because he's all about team. He's the one that wanted the Justice League to form.
Yeah.
So it's weird, Joe. That's probably one of my only problems with this episode, is that he does that. But then obviously,
so one of my problems, you did touch on it. Like he gets into the facility and he's searching for Bart. And at this point, we see Chloe with becoming Watchtower, and that's another thing I'll talk about in a second. But
couldn't call her Oracle, could you?
No, that's not the problem. But she notices on the schematics, oh, this is full of lead. Clark's in trouble. And then instead of opening the door and looking in, because you open up, you could see all the jars.
Embarrassing.
Nope, I'm gonna walk in, let the door close. Oh no, here's kryptonite. Whoops!
Do you think Green Lantern was in there or something with the green glow? You could see the green glow as he was opening up the door. And I'm
and nope, he's gonna continue walking and then fall down. No, you idiot!
It's like, listen, that's Superman, and I'm like, I'd rather him be weak, like in Justice League, the animated series, where he gets shot by beam and stands flying. You're like, okay, Superman's like, listen, everyone else
he can still operate,
So he was completely incapacitated, but this made me enjoy the other heroes a lot more. They all infiltrate,
and I think that's what they were trying to push, because the show is about Clark, and when you have an episode where you could have Arrow, where you could have Impulse and Aquaman and Cyborg show up all together, like you're gonna want to let them shine a little bit more,
Yes, and again, I think they do a good job of that here, Joe. And I enjoy this. They all have their own things. Aquaman comes up through the grate. They apparently are listening to Steven tonight. They had this whole thing shot of Aquaman fighting underwater, and they were going to shoot it out. They had it all planned out. Sorry, they just didn't have the time, so they had to scrap that and just have him come up from the grate instead of fighting bad guys underwater.
I will say, seeing Alan Ritchson as Reacher now, because I just finished covering that season 3 over on Walk to the Multiverse, seeing how huge he is and how older he is, and then shrink back down to him being Aquaman in this season of Smallville, that aired in 2007, so almost 20 years ago. It's just like, man, you are...
Still can't believe they didn't go with him for Aquaman. Like, what a stupid thing! Like, dude,
I thought it was Justin Hartley was going to be the Aquaman.
He was. They did a pilot with him.
Yeah, and then he
After,
became.
after
Oh yeah,
Aquaman.
after he became.
Yeah.
After he was. That's right. That's right. Yeah. No. Like Aquaman was great. Cyborg. I mean, yeah, you're fine. Just I
It's
wish
just
you would
it's
have been more cybernetic.
Borgy, yeah. You just plug into your synthetic skin, you're all. So
Also,
yeah,
it's pretty funny how all of them have leather vests for their suits. Both Bart and Oliver, Green Arrow and Impulse, their way of hiding is a hood and sunglasses. You know, the old Marvel hat and sunglasses,
yeah.
and you're hidden in the MCU. That's
You can
fun. I
tell
did.
this was made before camera phones were really camera phones.
Uh huh. Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Sunglasses and a hood will keep my identity.
Uh huh.
Oh my.
Um. So the other thing that really bugged me is, and I know episode of two back, Chloe figured out
Yeah,
who Oliver is, who
yeah,
Green Arrow is. When did she confirm it with Clark?
yeah. Rosenbaum complained about this stuff too. This is
Okay,
the one thing he did complain about. He's like, "Oh, so Chloe knows everybody's secret now. Like this,
yeah,
like how did you learn all that stuff? Like the build, he was like the build to like find out Clark's secret was like 4 seasons, and
right. And then all of a sudden,
he's like,
here's
how
Green
do you know
Arrow.
all these people?
Here's
How, and do you not respect the secrecy? So yeah, I can understand her
well,
putting
and then
Bart together,
especially
but
yeah, and then especially when Clark is like, "Oh, hey, I got to do this. You go tell Oliver."
I would
How
have
are
to
you?
go back
How?
if I don't even think Chloe interacted with Aquaman or Arthur Curry in the entire episode. Like I would have to go back and see if she interacted with all these people. I'll give her some slack of knowing because
Well,
she's
I know
super
she
sleuthy.
interacted with Victor.
Yeah, but I don't know if
Obviously, Bart.
I don't think she acted with don't know if she interacted with and she barely interacted with Oliver.
I feel like. Well, no. Here, the thing with that though is Oliver's dating Lois, and Lois
Yeah,
is living with Chloe, so of course
yeah,
they're gonna have a little more
yeah.
interaction than anybody
You're
else.
right. You're right.
I feel like her interaction with Aquaman or AC might have been like in the very little in the very beginning when he saved Lois. Possibly could also be at
I'm not
the
sure. I don't think I think it was Lois and Lana and uh
well, and Clark,
Lois,
and I
Lana,
think
and
Chloe
Clark.
was there too. I'm pretty sure Chloe was there too.
Maybe you could be right, and she could have interacted with Ned the Talon too when he was
That
there too.
yeah,
You're
and that
right.
was the
You're
other
right.
place I was gonna say.
So if she
But
interacted with
it's
all them, I
still
would
very. I think there was still a very minute interaction versus
only if she seen them. Like if she had to see them in there, like doing their thing once, and I'd be like, okay, I can see how you put together Clark interacting with all these people, and now you know all these people, superhero people are there. Like I could, but she didn't see like Aquaman being Aquaman or
no.
Cyborg being Cyborg. So like,
Well, Cyborg was Cyborg. Like he couldn't
uh,
turn that one off. But you're right.
but
Like that's another
yeah,
thing where she and I don't think she interacted with. She didn't interact with Oliver being Green Arrow.
yeah,
Really, she didn't interact. Yeah, so
but yeah, I did
that's
enjoy
another
this.
gripe. Yeah, again, it's a great episode. I also the other funny thing that I'm like, oh man, you really just can't get away from Superman from Clark being the center of attention, huh? When they're walking away from the building blowing up, and it's got the wide shot, and it comes in and it cuts off Impulse and Cyborg, and you have Clark in the middle with Arrow, the leader of this team, and AC on the other side, and then zooms in just on Clark as they are
Yeah,
slow walking away. Like you, okay, whatever, dude.
but again, I this was groundbreaking at the time, Joe. Like
It was amazing.
this
I'll give you
was
that.
crazy. And then the team goes off to take out more 33.1 levels. This is the last appearance of Green Arrow in this season.
Is it
And yeah,
okay? I
and
thought he showed up back like at least by the end.
no, he doesn't show up anymore this season. And Clark refuses because he has some zoners to deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
which is funny because I know Green Arrow comes back. Like he becomes a main
series regular.
cast.
Yeah.
I think by if not next season, definitely by season 8.
Yeah, I do think you're right about that, Joe. And again, one, I didn't think Martian Manhunter's not here at all. We've seen him once. I figured he might be in this.
Yeah.
But no. I enjoyed this episode, Joe. This was one of my favorites of the show. and this started everything. This locked so DC CW crossovers could run.
Yes, 100%.
This and it will say you could tell how much more they improved in the JSA thing in season 10, I think, where the JSA are a full on wearing their costumes. You got Dr. Fate with the
That was
helmet
10.
and
I thought
thing.
that was 9. Okay, but
Well,
yes,
could be 9. Could be 9. I'm just
yeah. But even
9 would make 9 would make more sense considering like there's the full on 10 season where he's going against Darkseid for most of it. So I think you could be right about that.
But you are correct, because from this point on, when we do get heroes, they're gonna have costumes.
Yeah,
We're gonna get Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Katana. Like, I mean,
Legionnaires
arguably,
are even wearing their Legion suits.
yeah. I mean, arguably, Green Arrow here has a costume. Like, his costume looks the closest to his comic accurate costume, whereas the rest of them are kind of close to it, but not really. But yeah, no, we're gonna start getting heroes with costumes. Obviously, we won't get Clark until
the end.
I mean, he'll have costumes. He won't have his costume.
We get seen in a black trench coat at some point. I can't remember what that is.
8 or 9. That's weird.
But Joe, this was a good Superman day. With
the
preview clip, with the interviews, with the Justice from Smallville. Couldn't get much more Superman, and we have 99 days to go until we get the actual Superman film. I can't wait to watch that and review that with you here.
Yeah.
Listeners, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with more DC goodness. Until then, see you, everyone.
Bye, y'all.